Hey, what's going on, everybody? Got another episode of Unsportsmanlike Conduct. It's just me this time, but I got some special things to share on this episode. I got an interview with Ryan and Clarke. Ryan and Clarke. Oh my gosh. Ryan was supposed to be there. AJ and Clarke. Choosing not to go back and edit this. AJ and Clarke. I got on a interview that I will do a reaction vid on. I have some other news too. We had first round of the playoffs last week. Ben and Josh have suffered their first loss of the playoffs. They cannot win. We have Clarke, who some will still say should not belong in the playoffs, going up against Mickey B this week. And we have AJ matched up against Cameron. I had to think. Sorry. With the interview with AJ and Clarke, they talk a little bit. You guys will see those matchup breakdowns. They'll break those down, and I'll actually react to those, and I'll do my own breakdown of those as well. Steve is going to be going against Ryan and Mark for last place. I think throughout most of the year, I was the heavy favorite to get last, and so was Taylor. Well, we're both safe from that last place presentation, so we will have somebody new. I don't believe Steve or Ryan and Mark have ever done the last place presentation, so we will have somebody new doing that this upcoming year. Ben, he's already predicting league reset. He had full confidence, or I guess he thought only his team would save the league from league reset. So we'll find out after this week if that's going to be true. The I don't want to spoil too much in this interview, but man, there's some salt going around either between Ben or AJ and Clarke. Oh, you guys are going to enjoy this, but we'll see. If Clarke and AJ, you guys lose this week, Ben's right. League reset. If you both win, hopefully Ben will be like, all right, golf clap, smile, and start looking at next year. Before I get into the matchup breakdowns, I am going to do quick. Before I get to the interview, I'm going to do some quick matchup breakdowns of games we did not go over. And these are ones of less importance, so to say. Let me share my screen here. Okay, first matchup that I'm going to go ahead and go over real quick. I'll go ahead and do my matchup against Orscheln. I'm recording this on Friday night. You guys get to actually see my clock down there if you so choose to look. I'm already the heavy favorite. Even before this, I was going to beat Andrew. He knows that. The whole world knows it. He told me Cup was going to have a better week than Puka, and I said no. Look who's right. Some could call it a little bit of justice after last year. It's still not, but every little bit helps. I wish it would have been Andrew playing for last, because right now I'm playing to name whoever gets last. I have a couple ideas already for Steve, and I have some ideas for Ryan and Mark too. But I guess I got to win 2 more games yet. But yeah, real quick, Andrew, you're already down by more than 30. This game was close before this week started. I think I have such a big head start on you all already. And one of your potential home run hitters, he fell flat. I don't think you have anybody else that could really blow up. Maybe Smith, but if Smith blows up, Jalen Hurts is probably going to blow up. Yeah, I just got more home run hitters left. My team could just play okay, and I don't think your team will be able to catch me. So I got myself winning. Another game with not too much on the line. We're going to go Drew and Taylor. This is the other matchup in the losers bracket, trying to get to that consolation championship. Looking at this projection, it's pretty evenly matched. I'm going to give the edge to Drew on this. I think the matchup, I think we're going to have a big game against San Francisco and Baltimore. And I really do think Drew is going to connect between Purdy and Kittle a couple times. Taylor's team, I don't know. It's weird. His team has found ways to win, or the person he goes against just does not play too well. Taylor can definitely win. I hope he wins to an extent, because I'd rather play Taylor than Drew, because Drew's team can pop off. But looking at this, I think it's going to be Drew. It's going to be a close game. I'm going to leave it at that. And then the last matchup, which really has probably the least importance, we have Little Josh and Ben. Ben's already off to a rough start, but once again, this matchup doesn't really matter. This is really more of a pride game. Going into this, it was a originally projected score of a difference of 4 points. I do think Josh is going to win this game. Before the Thursday night game, I had Ben winning because his team has been consistent. I do think Allen's going to have a big day, but with Ben already being down what he is going to need some big games out of some players, which can happen, but I think Patrick Mahomes is going to just go off against Las Vegas. I think between Mahomes and Rice, Josh is going to have easily over 40 points between those two players. So I don't think, unless Ben's team really pops off with what's left and Josh falls flat again like he did last week, I'm going to give this one to Josh. And then with that, that's actually all that I'm going to go into in terms of matchups for now. With the interview that I did with AJ and Clarke, we went over their matchups and the last place matchup. I'll actually pause the video and give you guys my feedback of those matchups too whenever we get to them in that particular part of the interview. Don't know how long this is going to take. This will be my first reaction video response, and then it's also the first time I've done any kind of interview in a sense. But I think it's going to go well. This might take a little bit of time. I'm going to try not to talk too much. I've already talked enough as it is. But I'm going to go ahead and get this started. And let's see here. Yep, I'm going to get this started. I'll pause it as I need to interject and talk. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this as much as I enjoyed going down and talking with AJ and Clarke.
Both of us.
Yes, both of you are. Whether
X's
you both belong to be in there.
Let me
Clarke.
start this from the beginning. That would help.
It is going, but all right. AJ, Clarke, you're in the playoffs.
Both of us.
Yes, both of you are. Whether you
X's
both belong to be in there, some in the league would probably disagree.
That they would.
Throughout the whole year, AJ, you've had one of the better teams. We've been pretty. Yeah.
I think so.
We've been pretty vocal on it. You've had one of the better teams.
Even though you guys have picked against me multiple times.
We have. But
in my Zach Moss days.
Even in your Zach Moss days, I might have been a little salty. But no, you both are in the playoffs. To those that aren't, they could love it, hate it, it's whatever. For most people in the league, they are rooting for both of you guys. Both of you are playing against, well, AJ, you're playing against Cameron, who has won, and Clarke, you're playing against Mike, who has also won.
Yes.
And the year that he won is a very similar situation that you're in this year. You have a team that some will argue shouldn't be in the playoffs, but you're hot at the right time.
That's right.
Last week, your team showed up and played against Ben. Ben had some bad luck with some injuries, but that still didn't say that he was going to win that.
I mean, I could have beat any team that week.
Yeah,
so.
you could have. I don't know what Mike would have scored. I didn't look at that, but you did have the most points scored last week.
Yeah.
So
If that was flip-flopped, I would have lost, I think, if I was playing who you were playing.
Ben,
Oh,
Right?
you
Yeah, if
looked
I
up
was
your
playing
points.
Ben,
how
I would
many-
have lost.
Yeah, you didn't even break 100, did you?
I think I was barely over 100.
Barely over 100. That's right, you barely over
Yeah.
100.
Because if I was playing
Really?
Ben, I would have lost.
Yep.
Because that's who I was
Oh,
hoping.
yeah.
I was hoping
Yep.
it was going to be the other way around. But I got lucky and I ended up playing Josh.
It's all about the matchups. I mean,
Yeah.
It also shows how important that first round bye is too, because I didn't even look at Cameron's team if his team would have showed up or not, but it doesn't matter. I know Mike's team, it looked like his team still did good. I just don't know how good it would have done. So both are in the playoffs. Just got 2 more weeks. Win this week, next week, you're the champion. How do you all like your chances?
I like my chances less than his, but I still like my chances. I mean, I got a team that's made it this far for me.
It has.
I mean, I've beat some people that, everybody that has got a better record than me or more points. Literally everybody's got more points.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's just luck of the draw that week. I mean, that's all it is, really.
You know, I was talking with, this was a few weeks ago, talking with Mickey B. You all know my record's terrible.
But you're coming on.
Oh, my team is coming on, but just to show you how some of this could be, I think Mike said something. He's like, Mitch, if you would have had my schedule, because he put in some program, software, or whatnot,
Or
I
mixed it
would
up.
have like 10 wins.
Damn.
So, strength of schedule, it is a real thing.
Oh, yeah, it is.
There seems to be always one team that has a great year, like stat-wise, but they're playing against somebody always
It
on their
blows
best
up
week.
every week.
Oh, Mark and Ryan.
Mark and
They
Ryan,
had to-
that's happened to them a couple years.
It has. There was one year they clearly had the best team, and
Yep.
they're just
They averaged like 120
Yes.
a year.
I'm sure
like
they
a
still
game.
remember that.
I don't
That
even
was last
remember.
year, wasn't
They
it?
might have made the playoffs, but I can't remember.
I think they barely got in there, but they didn't.
Yeah.
win it.
Yeah.
So, AJ, how you feel about your team? How do you think it's going to go all the way?
I have one thing to say, and that is to you, Cameron. You have beat me the first week by .02. The next time we played, you beat me by less than a point. I want to say it was 0.6, 0.8. It was less than a point. This week, when it matters, you going down.
So you're gonna put up one.
It's hard to
One
beat a
more?
team 3 times in a row. That's all I'm saying. Third time's the charm.
By less than a point.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this, AJ. If he beats you again, he owns you.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. It could be
Well,
a
like I
trap
said,
game.
like-
though. This could be a trap game, you know.
My losses are to Cam and to last place teams. You were one,
Yep.
and Steve was one,
I beat you.
and you beat me.
You
So, yeah.
play to the level of your opponent.
I do.
Everybody, and that's how I feel. I won is everybody played down to my level, and you know, that I even looking at it every week. I was like, well, I'm probably gonna lose. I mean, it even showed, going into it, I was gonna lose like every single game.
I'm pretty sure if we go back and look at the episodes, we picked against you way more.
You
than
should
I
just
picked
know
for you.
if you're playing Clark, you're gonna have a shit game. That's just the way it works.
Jacoby Myers. I mean, I think our staff has done pretty good. We've kept everybody together.
Got that killer
And
defense.
Jacoby came on. Kickers, defenses this year have put up a lot of points for everybody.
Yeah.
Like unrealistic points. I mean, there's been so many games this year that they've put up 20 plus points.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think
you
Clark
can
is like-
factor that in.
He's got that Michigan thing going on where he just scouts all the teams and finds their weaknesses.
Well, I mean, you can honestly just go to yahoo.com and it shows you the statistics, how they do against running backs,
Yeah.
wide receivers. I mean, everybody poos. You got time. You know what else you gonna do? That's what I do. Just-
I think that's it's a common thing throughout the week for everybody in the league. I'm sure that they're at least looking at their lineups a few times, a couple trips to the bathroom.
Lots of tinkering.
Yep.
Oh, also, I wanted to do this. That was for Orshland, if you can see that. It's kickers are people too. Orshland. Kickers are people too.
Oh.
I am a member of, what is it, Capped? That's what it is, just so you know. And my chair.
Andrew, if you care to comment on that statement, by all means, please share it in chat. Kickers are people too.
I just fell backwards.
If Andrew ever got last place, that would be a great team name for him. Kickers are people too.
Yeah.
They are.
Oh, man.
So, speaking of last place, this is the first matchup I do want us to talk about. We probably have a surprise matchup. I think a lot of people were thinking it was going to be me and Taylor
We all
fighting
thought
for
that
last
going into
place. But instead, we got Steve against Ryan and Mark.
Yeah, I didn't see that happening.
Um,
Especially the way Steve was playing.
Steve's team turned around. He's had a lot of bad luck this year. He's done what he could to rebound his team. It was a little too late, and his team it can't add up against the big home run hitting teams.
Still can't believe I traded you fucking Dak. Sorry.
Oh, what's crazy about that, AJ? So that waiver wire that week going into that, you outbid him by $1.
Yeah.
So
Still ended up giving him Dak.
yeah. But
I could have traded you Stafford for Dak.
but we're gonna start with Steve against Ryan and Mark. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to look at the lineup. Right now, we're recording this during the Saints game.
Let's check this out.
And Olave already has 10 points. Steve is currently projected to beat Ryan and Mark by almost 10 points. So, and I'll share my iPad here too for you.
Okay,
yeah. We can both see that.
Olave's doing good.
Yeah, I mean, you never know what Tua is going to do week to week. I mean, he might just go off also, and same thing with IU. But looking at Steve's team, just straight off the bat, Dak's putting together. No matter the Cowboys' record, Dak's been doing good. I mean,
he's coming off a rough one, but
He got punched in the mouth last week.
yeah. But, I mean, you're gonna have that, and usually they come back stronger from it. I mean, you've seen it every time. Every time you have somebody that had a poor game, and you sit them.
But yeah,
their
before
next
that,
game's
yeah,
explosive. Just
He's-
like taking a wide receiver that had put up 30 the week before, and then he craps out 7 points for you.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ryan, but that's what happened. I mean, Godwin, still solid. I mean, he's a solid receiver.
Yeah, he just put up 20 something.
Oh, he put a lot of points last
Last
week.
week.
Yeah.
The matchup with Steve and I, that was a roller coaster. I was projected to win, then it turned to Steve being a heavy favorite, and then had Cook blow up, and then I was the favorite. It was, it was a wild game last week.
Who they have? They got Jacksonville this week. I mean, so they should be able to put a dent in that defense, you know.
So, Clark, who do you have winning?
Oh, man. I gotta say that Steve is going to. McBride, I think he's going to have another good game.
I think so. Yeah.
I think Mixon's going to have a good game. I'm just not sure I could trust on their end with ETN and Kelsey and definitely Henry. So I've definitely got to give it to Steve.
AJ?
I think I'm actually going to give it to Ryan and Mark.
On what grounds?
I like Ayuk. I like Waddle. I don't think Tyreek's going to be, even if he plays, I still don't think he's going to be 100%. So I think Waddle's probably
Ankle
going to,
issue, right?
he's probably going to blow up. I think Henry's going to bounce back because he always finds the end zone. He just does.
He had a bad week last week.
He did.
That was one of his
It
worst
was
weeks.
terrible. It was the worst game of his life.
I did, and they're not. From what I remember, they're not really the greatest run defense. But you never know. It's Derrick Henry. He's still.
Yeah, he can pop off in any game.
Yeah, and you got ATN. I don't know. I'm not the hugest ATN fan, but he's been doing solid this year. Kelsey, I feel like he's, for lack of a better word, due.
Yeah, I think it's a fair assessment.
So he's like Kittle last year. Did nothing until
it
came up later in the season. He started popping off.
Yep.
It's against the Raiders. The Chiefs own the Raiders. Kelsey's got to do something.
But you got.
I don't like Drake
Scares.
London. I don't like fucking Ritter. Ritter's one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. Defense is terrible. I think it's going to be a really, really close game. I'm going to give the edge to Ryan Mark. I think Steve gets last.
All right. So I'm gonna have one more follow-up question for both of you on this. So, sorry.
Before I continue that, real quick, my opinion, because I didn't really share my thoughts of these matchups during this interview. Let me go ahead and pull up this matchup. Here we go. I will say before that Thursday night game, I was picking Ryan and Mark to win this, and I just thinking Tua and Waddle was going to have a big game. I think Steve is off to a very strong start for obvious reasons there. I don't know if Ryan and Mark will be able to catch him. I know Ryan and Mark has the team to do it. I wasn't expecting Steve to really get 100 points this week, but it's a great start with what he has. Dak, I don't know. But I definitely give the edge to Steve now to win this, and I think he is going to win it before this Thursday night game. I was not giving it to him. So, all right, let me get back to the interview here.
With you, AJ, you think Steve is going to get last. What would be a good last place name for Steve? Clark, you already know what I'm going to ask you. I'm going to do the flip.
Real quick, some of that laughing that you guys are hearing in the background, that's Diane. We're doing this at her house, and she's she enjoyed a lot of what we had to say. So if you guys hear her laugh anymore, don't worry about it. But yeah, just so you guys know.
You think Ryan and Mark's going to get last, so you'd be thinking, I'll give you a chance. We know what you're capable of name-wise, so I want to give you an extra minute. Just real quick, off the top of your mind.
I got nothing.
Got nothing.
This is going to take some time, Mitch.
Okay, well, anytime while we're going through these questions, if you think of something, go ahead and speak up. You have anything off the top of your mind for Ryan and Mark right now?
Two dudes, no cup. It's pretty easy.
Okay.
Shuttle dockers. The possibilities are really endless.
They are.
I also want to say that, me and Steve used to be enemies in the league, and now we're just seem like we make trades every year. So, I don't know. I think we're cool now, and I just don't see it happening. It's like, I hate Eckler. McBride's been one of your saving graces. I just don't see it happening this week. But I will get back to you on the name.
All right.
They're against Cincinnati, though.
I know.
All right. We are going to transition over to Clark and Mike. So Mike is already off to a good start. Stafford sitting at 15.96 points at halftime at the time of this recording.
It's pretty scary.
Mike is currently projected to beat you by 18 points. Clark, your team is only, I'm going to say only, because I've said that plenty of times for your team, only projected 90. So I'm going to let you break down this matchup first. Who you think is going to win. You be as biased as you want one way or the other. And then, AJ, I'll have you follow up.
Well, either way, this is my first year as a head coach for a team, and I've learned from him, thank you, and made it as far as I did. A lot of it, I get projected really low. Jacoby was projected at 4 or 5 several weeks. No one, and he got a touchdown every single game.
Underrated.
They just totally gave him nothing. Stafford putting up those numbers really hurts. Hoping Tyreek does not play would really help. And Madison.
That would help a lot.
Yeah. Laporta against Minnesota. Njoku's been going off.
Him and Flacco, man.
That Njoku combo is just scary.
With Flacco being
Flacco
there,
loves
it's
that
insane.
guy.
Yeah, I don't know if it's trust issues or he just always finds a way to get open.
I think
Even if he's not open, he still throws to him.
Well, I think he's always been an underutilized weapon on that team.
Yes,
Since he's
he
been
has
there. So
been.
it's great to see that him light it up.
I agree.
I'm really hoping that Aaron Jones gets healthy and
Well, that's
Reed,
one we traded for too.
Yes, and I hope Reed gets healthy because I can take out Singletary, because the Browns, their run defense has just been immaculate
Yep.
lately. Which that would open up because Carolina's pass it's weak.
Yep.
But I mean, with the numbers that Stafford's putting up right now, it's just hard to really put yourself at a level playing field. But I'd cheer for myself. I mean, I think I'll get more than 90. I mean, I see myself in at least 115. But I mean, if he has someone to pop off, he's got. I mean,
Well, we know what Mike's team can do to pop off.
yeah. If Hill is out and Madison is out, that is a huge takeaway from his team.
Well, the one person we're not talking about on Mike's team is White. Rashad White's been killing it.
He has. He's become a strong staple.
He's a real
Yeah.
thing.
Especially fantasy wise.
Yeah.
I mean, he's averaging over 100 total yards, all 100 all-purpose yards every game.
He gets the ball.
Yeah. All right, so you are going to pick yourself to win,
Yeah,
and you think you're going to score 115.
115. I think Palmer's going to have a good game. I don't think Allen's going to be back. It'd be great if he did come back.
He's not. They already. ruled
Yeah,
him out.
Allen's out.
Oh, he's out? Okay.
I mean, that helps Palmer.
Yeah, that helps Palmer. I mean, it's just this new quarterback, uncomfortable kind of, but I mean, if he could pop off a couple, it would be nice. I think Likely's going to tear it up again. I think Debo's going to put on a show against Baltimore, especially. And I mean, quarterback, I'm still questionable. Browning's been doing really good.
I was gonna say, are you kind of sold on that one, or are you still kind of
missing Chase? It hurts, you know.
Yeah.
But T. Higgins has shown that he can, fill that gap.
Yeah.
And I mean it's going to be a game time decision whenever it comes to that to quarterback, especially after seeing what Stafford's doing.
Yep.
And I hope he gets hurt.
Nah.
Oh God.
AJ, who do you got winning this matchup? You're not allowed to be biased.
I obviously want Clarke to win because I want to have the X's play.
The teacher versus the student.
Yeah.
Coming after your dojo, son.
It's the quarterback that worries me.
Yeah. It
Like,
is
I
my
don't-
weak point.
I don't know which one you're gonna play.
Well, all year I had troubles with quarterbacks. I mean, Burrow got somewhat.
Like, I can see why you're thinking about Mullins, but even the touchdowns that Mullins threw were very questionable. Like, he had one that was a shoelace catch that ended up running into the end zone by, was that Addison? And then he had another one, I think, by Addison that he had no business throwing that should have been picked off. So yeah, I'm not very high on Mullins. And Debo's been killing it. Palmer, he'll probably get all the targets, so that might not be a bad pick. It's another quarterback that sucks. Connor and Jones look good. If Jones plays, Likely's been killing it. Singletary's been killing it. Chicago's defense been killing it. I'm not even talking about kickers because, kickers still matter.
Because they're real people.
Yeah.
They have feelings.
And I look across the
win
board
games.
and I see freaking Brown and Hill and White.
It's hard to look at that team and not worry, honestly. I mean, it's a good team.
And he's got the two tight ends that have both been destroying everybody.
But there's one thing that I got, and he doesn't.
Is that Hart?
No, a complexion. He's a ginger.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
I
That's-
think
that's about it.
I'm giving it to Mike, hoping for Clarke.
I know whenever I comment on this later, it's going to be simple. It's going to be rooting for you, Clarke, but you have no business winning this game.
That's how it's been. I'm used to it. That's how.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I'm not gonna change away from that. Clarke, you have no business winning this game. I've said it all year with your team. I'm gonna continue to say it because I might be getting a little superstitious and maybe it'll work out in your favor. But you have no business winning this game. I think Mike's team, one of his weak points has been quarterback. His quarterback has already showed up this week. Stafford was on par to get a lot more points than 20 because he had 15 at half. I think he just got so far ahead. Stafford was able to ease up a bit. But he has you beat at quarterback already because of that. Mullins might be able to pop off for Browning. I mean, the chances are they'll do more than what they're projected. I just don't think by that much. Wide receivers we don't even need to talk about. I will say Samuel and Palmer has the potential to pop off. We saw that with Palmer last week especially. Running backs, White is big. I think Mike's team's been good all year. There's games that he has won that he probably shouldn't have won, but his team has gotten better. White is good. Madison has been putting up respectable numbers. I don't know if he's playing this week, but Laporta and Njoku with Flacco now is insane. They're actually finally using one of their better players. And, I mean, who throws a tight end in their flex? But Mike can do that with who he has. Both of those, I would argue, would be top 5 tight ends this week. So, and then kicker and defense, I mean, that's a wash, maybe a little bit better. It doesn't really matter. But I think Mike does have this. If Mike does not have Hill, I still think he'll have enough to win it. Unsure who he would play. He has some options. But yeah, I think it's going to be Mike. Clarke, I'm rooting for you, man. I want you to win. Everybody wants you to win. Mike, it would be sweet justice for you to lose to Clarke, to lose in the fashion that you caused everybody else to have the year that you won, losing to a team that should not be there. Clarke, good luck. I hope to see you and AJ in there. All right, back to the interview.
It's been every podcast.
But no, I mean, it's Brown and Hill. I mean, if Hill doesn't play, Brown has a bad
If
bad
Hill
game,
doesn't play, yeah.
all bets are off.
I mean, he doesn't have anybody to replace Madison either, right?
No, I mean, he
Yeah,
might play
he's-
Sermon. You could always play Pierce, but you're going to get what you
Pierce,
get from this.
yeah.
Murray might steal you a touchdown. But no, I mean, it's Madison's his best luck if he doesn't play.
I'm banging on injury.
I think White's the one that pushes it over. Right? White's just been killing
Yeah,
it.
he's been doing good. I'm just hoping for injury.
AJ, let's go ahead and transition over to your matchup. And I'm going to have you break down
I
this
knew you'd
first.
pick him. I knew you would. Statistically.
Well, what's funny is you guys saw my little
Oh my
dirty I did the work for him, right?
Kyron.
Yeah.
Because he was getting all mad that we kept picking against him and he would win. And finally, we picked for him. And I personally did a poll just so everybody could pick him, because I know that they would pick him and then he lost. Because Andrew's kind of just superstitious, and it's funny that right in his face, sucker, and you're going down this week.
I'm not going to lie. Like, I thought about that going into the week, and whenever he complained about not getting picked for like 3 weeks in a row, I was going to do that. I was going to do that poll, and I knew everybody was going to pick him. Because once again, Clarke, you still had no business beating even him. It's just great that you ended up beating him and he lost. So I think it's just Andrew, he finds a way to disappoint. If we expect him to lose, he finds a way to win. If we expect him to win, he finds a way to lose. So, and it's just like this week, except we all expect you to lose, and you will lose.
Yeah, AJ, we're gonna start with you. Right now, you are projected to win.
Dude,
Williams.
Kyron is not doing good.
No, he's not. He's not doing too good right now. He only has you 4.7 points. Still a whole nother half to go. Cameron has his typical no kicker in the lineup. Even with the kicker, you're probably still projected to beat him by half a point as of right now.
I need a big second half from Conran.
Not to remind you, AJ, but he has beaten you by less than 0.2 times.
Every time.
Every point matters for you.
Every time.
I hope it comes down to like 0.2.
If AJ loses again by less than a point, I might drive down just to come give you a hug, and then we can go find
Suicide watch.
Yeah, AJ, what you got? What do you think's gonna happen with this matchup with Cameron? I know you want yourself to win. Who should win this game based on matchups?
Well, in Cameron's vein, his team's fucking garbage. Like, look at him. He's got Lamar Jackson, who's one of the most overrated, injury-prone quarterbacks in the league. And he's playing against arguably the best defense in the league, so he's done. And you got Deontay Johnson, who's got somebody from the street throwing. I don't even know who the hell the quarterback is. So he's probably done. And you got T. Higgins, washed up, injury prone again, so he'll probably play a quarter. He's out. Tyler Boyd game. And you got Jamar Gibbs. Montgomery's probably going to steal the show. Sorry. Then you got McCaffrey. Can't really say anything there. He's probably going to get like 50 points. And you got Ferguson. Who the hell's that guy? And you got a kicker. No show. Green Bay defense against Carolina. That's probably get you points. So your points probably going to come from McCaffrey and your defense. My team. Fields is going to destroy Arizona. 50 points. Lamb. Miami. 50 points. St. Brown, Minnesota. 50 points. Williams ain't really doing anything right now. Second half, 50 points. Barkley, Philadelphia. Probably not going to do much. 20 points. Goddard, 20. DJ Moore, 50. Hopkins, 10. New York Jets defense, 10. You're losing. Game over.
I think listening to that, I was able to start tasting salt in my mouth.
Yeah, I thought I was in Arizona for a second, like just licking the salt flats. Like, you put yourself at 300.
5,000 to 20.
I believe it was 320 to 78.
Yeah. Whatever the hell the math works out.
That's too good.
Okay.
All right.
After Cameron's response to their last matchup before this one, AJ's response was fully warranted. It was it was comical, even talking outside the podcast. Yeah, he wants this one. He wants this one. So, but no, it was good stuff.
Clarke, who do you got?
I'm gonna be a little bit more realistic with mine. I'm gonna go quarterback for quarterback. I like Lamar, but I don't like him against San Fran. I like Fields against Arizona, so I'll give him one on that. CeeDee Lamb, gonna go off against Miami. I just don't see anything like going different with that.
No, he's surely gonna rebound after last week.
Yeah, there's just Miami doesn't want to play defense really. They just want to score more points. It seems like that's their MO. Johnson, yeah, you don't have a quarterback. Sorry, you just don't. You keep trading out from crap to crap. Like soon there's gonna be a roll of toilet paper out there throwing the ball. Like that's what it's coming to. Get yourself a good quarterback. Come on.
I mean, they can put Mitch Trubisky back in there. I'll be fine. I'm totally fine with that.
Amon, St. Ra, and T. Higgins. I think this one could go either way.
Yeah, T. Higgins kind of worries me.
Like, Higgins can go off, like, especially with the
That
injury.
touchdown last week?
Well, the
That was
injury in the
sweet.
backfield for Pittsburgh's, and, like, they're pretty banged up right now, and then, one of their players not getting to play for the rest of the year. I mean, that's going to hurt. But that one's a toss-up. I'd say Williams, Gibbs. Got to give it to Gibbs. If they let him run, definitely going to take McCaffrey over Barkley. Tight ends, Go Dirt and Ferguson. I think they're pretty even. I just don't trust Go Dirt. Just coming back.
Yep.
Go Dirt. Clarke, you were killing me the other night. Go Dirt. It's Goddard. Goddard. Don't do my team dirty.
It's hard for me to actually believe in them.
Me too.
Devontae Adams and Moore. I think Kansas City's going to cover Adams, and
I hope so.
Jacoby's probably going to have a better game than him. I mean, they know who their go-to guy is.
Yep.
And that quarterback literally just throws to Adams. That's it. Kickers, you got him in kickers.
I do.
Yeah.
At the moment.
He doesn't have one, so that's good on you. And defenses, I mean, you're pretty equal. But, I mean, all on paper.
Green Bay's against Carolina. That's rough.
Yeah. On paper, I got to give it to AJ. Not by much. I mean, if Higgins goes off and he's got the
Hopefully by .02.
Yeah. Higgins and McCaffrey, I think they'll be the game setters for him, honestly. And if that happens, then it swings the other way.
I know, looking at this matchup, this is the big matchup of the week. This is the one that's almost neck to neck.
Mm-hmm.
I know, AJ, you're saying, I hope I beat you by .2. I'd be like,
I want to win by 50.
I don't want to think about it. What's crazy about this game is there's a lot of Monday night players.
I know.
And
Look at that.
it's
gonna be so freaking frustrating.
And what's crazy is
I'm going to sit there and wait to watch this?
He's got two players. He's got both the receivers going Saturday, and I don't have anybody going Saturday. That's gonna drive me insane.
yeah, I mean it's knowing Cameron too, that stuff bothers him a lot as well.
Yeah.
And he's gonna lose some sleep over is what's gonna happen. So.
I know Cameron's gonna lose sleep. That's why I made that comment. It's seeing anytime you have a Monday night player and you're playing against Cameron, like I really want to know how Ellie's doing. I would like to think Cameron's better about it now, but I know just past years, man, he was stressed about those Monday night games. It's comical. It's comical.
I'm just glad I got some Monday nighters.
I don't like playing Thursday night players.
It varies.
Yeah, it's
Sometimes-
pissing me off right now.
Yeah, I mean sometimes they blow up. It's usually never like right around their projection. They either blow up or they do nothing on Thursday night games. So I'm gonna reserve my thoughts as to who I think is gonna win these matchups for whenever I do my recording. I will say AJ. I think it's gonna come down between if Fields beats his projection, if McCaffrey beats his. I think matchups around you have better matchups with your team, but Cameron has home run hitters on his team, and any one of them could blow up, just like yours. So this will be a fun matchup. With that,
All right, AJ's gonna win. That is my prediction on this. I'm gonna pull this up real quick. I know AJ. He did. So whenever we were doing that recording, Kyron was not doing too well, but he ended up having a strong game. I know Cameron still needs to put in his kicker here. Yeah, sure. Cameron will do that. He'll be projected 107, somewhere around there. But I do think it's going to come down to matchups. I think matchups do favor AJ a whole lot more. I think his team's a little bit better. But I think Fields is good. I do think it's going to come down between Fields beating his projection or McCaffrey getting to his. That San Fran Baltimore matchup, I could see that being a low-scoring game. I can see it being a very high-scoring game, just a shootout. I just don't think it's going to play in that favor. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. McCaffrey's not going to get his projection. AJ's team is going to pop off, going to do get a lot of points. The score of this game, both teams will probably get about 110 points. but AJ's going to come on top on this win. So at least, well, I think that's what's going to happen. I hope that's what happens. Cameron, we need you to lose. I think it's going to come down to matchups. I know Cameron's been playing very drafting, picking up players, trading methodically for these playoffs. The Lamar Jackson and McCaffrey, that's what's going to be tough. So that's a tough matchup for both of them. More likely going to be a low-scoring game, but it can be a high. All right.
Because I'm not going to go into the other matchups with you guys. I will break those down on my own. Those are not as important.
You have to watch the episode for that, boys.
Yep. I want to talk about League Reset, because if both of you guys lose this week, we will have League Reset.
Not happening.
In the event that it does, is there anything in the league you guys would like to see changed?
So one thing I do want to point out, because League Reset can definitely happen this week, or it could be clear that we're gonna have League Reset after this week if both AJ and Clarke lose. If that's the case, I'm not gonna start talking about it right away. We're gonna enjoy the final week. We'll talk quite a bit about the championship matchup, and then episodes to follow shortly after that. We'll start talking about Reset right away. If it doesn't happen, then we have nothing to worry about, and all will be good this year. That's what we're hoping for. But just do know, if we do have League Reset, I have plans on talking about it during the NFL playoffs and getting a lot of stuff sorted out. So that way, whenever we get to the offseason, it really is the offseason. We can enjoy ourselves.
I really don't mind anything. The only thing I hate is whenever, like, a running back or wide receiver.
Hold on.
I really don't have, like a running back or
You guys
wide
are probably
receiver
seeing what I'm
throws
seeing
for
here. Hold
a
on.
touchdown.
Technical difficulties. What we're going to do. What am I at? 30:54. Bear with me. I'm going to open this beast back up. That's not what I wanted.
And you can tell up there.
Like a running back or
There we
wide
go.
receiver
Sorry about that,
throws
guys.
for a touchdown. And like,
And it counts as a passing touchdown?
yeah, and it just feels like you should get more out of it,
Oh, like something like that.
But that's on Yahoo, and But other than that, I mean, I don't mind it. Like, I mean, it'd be nice to have like another flex or something, But I mean, definitely keep kickers.
Yeah, I'm totally not on the anti-kicker bandwagon.
I mean, they've literally won games for me.
I think that's the reason why some people want to get rid of kickers.
Yeah, but I mean,
I just like the randomness.
it's a game of chance.
That's a fair argument.
Yeah.
It's the thing with kickers, because some people they want to take out some of the randomness of it, and I've said things on the years. Because at one point in time we were giving kickers way too many points. 50-yard field goal was 6 points at one point. 40 plus was 5. 30 plus was 4.
The way it is now.
The way that it is now is standard.
Yeah.
I've even thrown out the idea that all field goals are just 3 points. Doesn't matter the length or distance. That would remove some of the randomness too. But one of my biggest arguments I've always had for kickers, it's a part of the game.
That's yeah.
And I know whenever we have League Reset, this will probably be one of the biggest, if not the biggest topic
Yeah, it will be.
to talk about.
See, you said win. See, I
See?
said when we have the league reset.
Well, if it doesn't
Well,
happen
it's
this
a
year,
matter
it
of
will.
time,
yeah.
Clarke.
I mean,
Be more optimistic.
Yeah.
I mean, on an even playing ground right now, it's 50-50. It's a coin flip right now. If it's
Yeah, it is 50-50.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly like where it's at.
And that's okay. You haven't been doing this for that long, Clarke. I will say your first year, managing your own team, even though you have the fewest amount of points, I've seen you do things that new people doing things football does not do. One of the more obvious things that I thought was clever, you bid just enough to where Cameron could not get lightly, and that's big.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And no, you're winning. You're doing the right things. You're going to be a great member of this league for years to come. And as you do this more, you're going to start. You'll have other ideas that'll come to mind. Like, well, maybe we should do this. There might be something that we have done.
Well, I saw Mike was probably going to be searching for a running back, and so I tried to go after it. But when you have like $4 left in your account, it's kind of hard to do it. But Andrew picked him up, thankfully, because I was awake at 2:30 in the morning to check. You know.
Yeah.
You know, it's stuff. It was my matchup, and I knew it was going to be a weak point of his, and
Yeah.
I will do that.
Oh, that's a smart thing to do. I've done that before in the past.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can't beat your opponent with players you got, you look like, okay, there's somebody that they can go
Yeah,
get.
exactly.
Now, I'm sure you probably looked at, okay, what kickers are out there that I definitely don't want Cameron to go get that I think will have big games. It might be worthwhile to go pick them up.
Yeah, just pick up every kicker. and
Because you
drop him.
know other people in the league are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
This is a very competitive league.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with like looking, and I think that's what's helped me the most is I just looked at my matchups and I just prayed for the matchup to be right. Sometimes it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it does. Unlike everybody else was plagued with injury, I've not had a quarterback for most of my season.
Yeah.
I mean, he came back, had 4 games, and he was out again.
Yeah.
That's a rough go.
Yeah.
Debo started playing, that saved me. Jacoby saved me at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Now he's out. Jaden Reed picking him up, took his place.
That's total keeper.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just I had to drop Rasheed Rice. You know,
That one's good.
that hurt.
Yeah,
that hurt
that hurts.
because I believe that was a 13 for
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, that one hurts.
So, yeah, good job on picking him up.
So outside of kickers, you guys are clearly for. I know we've talked a little bit about removing defenses too. I think those are 1 and 2 of the same. If kickers go, then there's arguments to make for defenses. But I can't see us just getting rid of defenses and keeping kickers. I think if kickers go, then the argument is to get rid of defenses. I don't think you can get rid of just defenses and then keep kickers.
Yeah, but I can't justify taking out defense that you can maybe get 7 points, and then you're gonna put in a long bomb wide receiver that.
Oh no, I would agree.
I just-
You mentioned this stuff with flex, and that's a whole other discussion. If that's something that we should do if we remove a position. I know with the 12-man league, adding a flex that takes more players away from the pool.
Yeah.
And I'll talk more about that as whenever league reset happens, because I know that is a popular thing that people have been saying. I have a lot of concerns for the availability of players out there on waivers if we do that.
It's already slim pickings. Yeah.
It's already slim pickings, and if you add another flex spot or bench, like if you add a flex spot but don't add an actual roster spot, then it might work. But if you add another bench and a flex, that's another player.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't do another
Well, I have
roster
a
spot.
suggestion on that, and we can get rid of defenses. I know this is going to be crazy, and I don't think any other leagues do this, but some of them do. Is the defensive players?
Yeah.
Where you can do defensive line, linebacker, defensive back, and that'd be your defense.
I know there's leagues out there. I myself have never done something like that. I'm open to the idea. It's could be really a matter of if that's something we think is good for this league. Because I don't know how many people in this league have done that, or if that add too much more randomness that we don't want to do.
Well, I think it'd be cool just so everybody would learn defensive players. Because everybody just knows offensive players.
Yeah, but my ADHD, like, this is like this is enough, like to add more, like,
Yeah.
it seems exhausting, honestly.
You act like you wouldn't enjoy it.
So I actually thought about this a little bit whenever I left. I am interested in this, but I don't think it's the best thing for this league. Not with, I'll say, lack of experience with dealing with defensive players throughout our league. I don't know how many people in our league has been in a different league where it's had defensive players. I'm up to testing that and seeing how well that works. I just don't think this league is the place to do that. It really does change it up a little bit, but we'll talk more about that later. I just want to give you guys my initial raw thoughts on that at the moment.
Would, but after like 7 minutes, I'd get frustrated. Like,
Yeah.
I like the thought of bringing in another flex, but keeping your roster the same.
Okay.
Like, that would be, because you're always like, oh, I knew I should have put that guy in, and everybody's got that every single game, and
Well, whenever league reset does happen, that'll definitely be one of the topics. I don't know how we're going to go about an order of operations on when and how we're going to vote.
It's not going to be this year.
I hope it's
not
not.
gonna be this
I hope
year.
it's not. I don't want it to be this year. I got to be realistic as commissioner.
I got keepers that I want to hold.
Oh,
on to
so do
this
I.
year.
But we'll get all that hashed out. So I want to transition to my final question for you guys before I give you guys final statements to say whatever you want to the league. Who's going to the Super Bowl and who's going to win?
Say Niners are going regardless.
Niners. They're going to win regardless.
I mean, you kind of got to give it to them. Like at this point,
They're the best team right now, but you don't have to give it to them.
Are they the best team?
I would say they're the best team in the league right now. Yeah.
I'm actually going to go Ravens over the Niners.
I
I
tell
think
you
this
what,
is Lamar's year.
if they bring back that female coach from 3 years ago or whatever, then they will lose. But Niners are going to win it. Like, I mean, that's what's going to happen. They got just everything's great about them. Like honestly, I can't find too many weak points.
No.
I mean,
If they stay healthy, it's hard to pick against them right now.
yeah. If CMC stays healthy, I mean, Kittle still hasn't been utilized entirely.
Fourth option. One of the best players in the league is fourth option on that team. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still going Ravens.
So you got Ravens over 49ers?
Ravens over 49ers.
All right.
Well, I mean, who do the Ravens have to pass to? You have Odell, you have Bateman,
Flowers.
Flowers, who's
Likely.
not showed up.
Weren't you just
lately.
talking about how awesome Likely
Yeah,
was?
Likely was their leading receiver.
And they
for the
also
last
have
3
that
games.
one guy named Lamar Jackson who can
Right.
pretty much do anything he wants to do on the field.
Yeah, but you have anchors that are doing nothing. Whenever you look at San Francisco, you have guys that are just going off.
I think it's going to matter.
Sorry, I just want to chime in here. AJ, you're talking pretty highly of Cameron's quarterback. I hope you realize that. It's Lamar Jackson. It's his year. Sorry, I just had to point that out. Because if you do lose, it probably will be because of him. So
You never know whose game it's going to be.
You don't know. It's going to matter if I think Baltimore can match up against the 49ers well because they could slow them down.
And they have a good
It's just a
rock-solid
matter of
defense.
They do have a good
can they
defense,
slow
I'll
them
give
down
them
enough. Like Eagles are a terrible matchup against the 49ers. Eagles could get into a shootout, but they can't defend against a high-powered offense.
Correct.
They're just terrible in that regard. So, who do you got? You haven't said it yet.
I want to see 49ers and Ravens, and I want to see 49ers win.
You going Ravens too?
Oh, you said you want to see the 49ers win.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
who
49ers
are they
win.
playing against?
Ravens.
All right.
Ravens. All
So,
right.
in your all's prediction, we're going to have a Super Bowl preview this Monday.
Yes, it's It's gonna be such a good game.
It should be a good game.
Mitch
well-
has Eagles.
Oh, I'm sticking from the beginning. From the beginning, I had Chiefs and Eagles. I am not gonna.
Nope.
It might be a little bit more biased now, but
For the record, where did you have the Jets finishing? Preseason.
preseason I had them winning the division.
There you go.
Which they would have.
Did you have them going anywhere in the playoffs?
Oh, I'd have to go back and look. I had them going. I think I had them going to the AFC Championship game.
Yeah. I thought you had
it's-
them going ways.
The thing with the AFC with me, there's only 2 teams I think that's going to go. And I still think it's going to be the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Or it'll be Jacksonville making it.
Yeah.
And the reason I say Jacksonville is because I think they're coached well, and I think that's a
They
team
are.
that can beat any team. The other teams, they're allergic to the promised land, whatever you want to call it. Ravens or the Cowboys or the AFC, they'll find a way to mess up. They have shown that. The Bills, they are one of the hottest teams in the league right now.
They are.
I've learned not to trust Josh Allen.
Nope. Turnover
Yes.
machine.
He could be a turnover machine. I mean, he could light it up too.
Yep.
But I learned not to trust that. And then is it going to be the Colts? Is it going to be Houston? Those teams aren't built to win it.
No.
Makes for good stories.
Well, that's how I feel about Jacksonville too. They might be well coached. They might have solid everything, but they haven't been there before.
They haven't,
Yeah.
I
but
feel like they're going to stumble.
they're also a team that can beat any team in the league.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
And that is the Chiefs' kryptonite for whatever reason.
Cinderella,
it shows.
yeah.
well, Trianglehead Trevor Lawrence, like he's not showing up, and he has the ability to pass to these guys, but he's not doing it. He's been underthrowing and overthrowing.
He's
not reading
underperformed
routes.
in his professional career.
Yes.
I thought he was going to have a bigger year this year.
Yes.
Yeah, and he should. I mean, he literally should. He's got the receivers.
Well, yeah, everybody thought he was
It's
going to
just-
take that next step this
Yeah,
year.
it's just he's missing all. He's just throwing to the route.
Yeah.
He's not making the play.
Yeah.
And it's underwhelming,
Yeah.
honestly, because I thought this was going to be his year of showing why he belongs in the league. And
At least we're not talking about the fucking Cowboys. That's all I got to say.
They'll find a way to-
Pollard was not where he should have been. this year.
Sorry, Cowboys ain't going to do anything.
No, they weren't going to do anything anyways. That doesn't matter how their season is going to end. They were going to mess it up.
But I mean, yeah. So we agree on Ravens and
I mean,
Niners being.
Ravens
Mom!
and Niners.
Mom, why don't you get over here?
I'm listening.
I mean, no, come here. You need to be on camera. We need to hear you. 49ers fan.
Are the 49ers going to win the Super Bowl? Is that what you got? You just got to answer that one question. 49ers winning?
Yes.
There we go. All right.
You heard it here, folks.
She just put on her Brock Purdy jersey and said yes.
So-
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I want to go ahead and wrap it up with this. Any final statements from you two?
You two sucks. Oh, sorry. All I heard was you two.
If you're upset that you lost to my team because they're so terrible, I'm obviously better because look at where I'm at.
I like it.
AJ?
I'm just so proud of my protege.
Thank you.
We broke up, but we're still friends.
Assistant coach,
And
head coach.
he's doing amazing, and I hope
First
I
year head coach?
see him in the championship. Also, once again, yeah, the kickers are people too.
They
Porcelain
have
kickers are people too.
All right. Well, I wish you both the best this week. Ben will feel better if you find a way to beat Mike because he's not a fan of Mike.
If that.
Oh yeah, another one.
I
Ben,
feel-
stop channeling your inner.
I feel like that would
Patrick
be the only way to
Mahomes.
make them happy. It's like if
And
I
stop
beat
being
the
so-
pinnacle.
It's-
Butt hurt all the time.
He'll be at
Jesus.
peace he'll be a little bit at peace if you beat
My
Mike.
God.
It's what I'll say.
So I
about
got to beat a guy that's 14-1 just to make Ben happy.
Mike's lost twice. The thing with Ben's team, so he's had one of those teams. He's been in the top for the past couple of years, and he's had bad luck at the wrong time on stuff, and it can be a little nerve wracking. I can relate to that past handful of years.
I mean,
But
still.
we all have that. So it's just right now. If you beat Mike, he's going to feel a little bit better. If you beat Cameron too, he's going to feel a lot better.
Well,
But it's over. It's over. Ben was the only chance.
See,
Ben was the only
Reverse
chance.
psychology. I don't know.
See, I'm just saying
Jesus.
is I lost to teams, and I'm
That
not
pissed
saying
me off, by the way, Ben.
I'm not saying I lost to a bad team. You know, I'm not.
Oh, no,
Every loss I took, I'm like, well, I lost. You know, so being more mature, I'm just gonna say, nanny boo boo.
Oh, if Ben is just trash.
Look at me, I'm
But
like-
I will say this though, AJ, because if both of you guys lose this week, first thing he's gonna say is like, I
told you.
Oh yeah, and then
I saw this
Hardcore.
coming.
Hardcore.
I wrote out a
Hardcore.
4-page essay on this.
Yeah. He's going to have it ready to post. Bam.
I mean it's and a lot of people probably like, yeah, we know. We know it's gonna be that. We're hoping against it.
But Stafford sitting at 20 points right now is good.
No, it's not looking good for you, Clark.
Yeah.
AJ, I'm holding out hope. It's not
not
looking good for you at the start. So, it's
be
very likely
optimistic.
Ben might be telling us all next week. See, I told you so.
But-
And then mic drop. He
Well-
won't say another word.
Well, whenever I was playing Ben, I had 80 points and Najee was in and put up 1. And I was projected.
Oh,
for
Kyron
80.
Williams touchdown.
Oh boy.
I was projected for 80, and he was at 120. And I was like, well, I'm just going to take a nap. And I didn't even look at my phone, didn't bother to look at like the scores or anything. And then Ryan texted me, and he's like, well, we're going to be in the loser's bracket. And I was like, well, I'll see you there. You know, at least it was a fun ride. He said, what are you talking about? And I looked at my phone. It's like, holy crap, I'm winning.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's just how quickly something can change.
Oh, it can.
You know?
It can.
You can't look at the projections and feel like you got it in the bag. Take a nap, you know.
Just take it.
Things might change.
That's the key to your team.
Yeah.
Just take it.
Yeah, so-
All right. AJ Clarke, thanks for taking time out of your week. Your
Busy
week
schedule.
Oh, I'm so busy. All the work.
We just got to get Ryan and Mark on here.
That's the last two, right?
Yeah. Well, Taylor hasn't been on. I don't know how much.
I
he's
need to
been
get Drew
involved
on
with,
here again
any
too
of this,
with
but-
that
Okay.
bad messed up episode.
But yeah, we'll get Ryan and Mark on sometime soon. I'm committed to doing this. This is a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. You guys are enjoying it, so
We had
that's
fun.
what makes it worthwhile.
I
And
didn't know what to do with my hands.
Didn't know what to do with your hands. All right.
we all
Well,
put our
thanks again,
hands up.
guys. And I'm gonna wrap this up.
Deuces.
All right. And that was the interview. So, AJ Clarke, thanks again for taking the time out of your evening to do that. That was the first time that we've done something like that for the podcast. And I think it worked out pretty well. I hope you guys share your feedback as to how I was shuffling things around between the screens. Hopefully the sound quality and everything is all right too. I recorded that from my iPhone, and I think it worked out pretty well. But yeah, towards the tail end of that, lots of salt. Ben, you threw down that it's all over. You were the only hope, and it's possible after this weekend that's going to come true. And then you could just nod your head and be like, "Yeah, I told you guys so." Didn't want to listen, or it could be the exact opposite way. I hope it's the opposite way. I could see us seeing league reset after this weekend, like that it's coming, but we just have to get through Monday. I think AJ has a real chance of beating Cameron. I think that game's going to be close. Clarke, you've been finding ways to win games. I hope you find a way to win this week. Don't think it's going to happen. I think Mike is going to win that game. I think we're going to see Mike and AJ in the championship, and then we're going to have more drama next week. We're going to hear something along the lines of Ben being like, well, it just got delayed 1 week. It's still going to happen. And then AJ's just going to talk more trash about being like, you're giving up on me. I'm going to do it. So we will see. Next week, I do plan on doing an episode of some sort. We're going to have championships, so I'm not going to just not do anything. I'm going to find a way to do some sort of episode. Hopefully I got something special that I could present to you guys next week. I won't ruin the surprise. With that, that is all that I got. Had fun doing this episode. It was different doing a reaction-like video. Let me know what you guys think. And I hope you all have a great and Merry Christmas. Hope you all are in the Christmas spirit. Everybody's healthy as much as they can be. Eat plenty of food. Watch good football. And yeah, you all just have a, well, great Merry Christmas, however you want to call it. So, until next time, if you like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all next week.